Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with my top 50 box sets and reissues for 2023. And this is the next instalment where on this one, if I just check my notes because I've moved it out away from the last one, is going to take us from position number 20 down to number 11. So after this, there'll only be one episode left, which will take us down to number 1 box set of 2023. What will it be? So make sure you don't miss out on any future episodes by subscribing or becoming a patron or ringing that little bell, checking out the website, and of course the collectors Facebook group as well for Now Spinning Magazine. So I hope you've enjoyed all the episodes so far, which has taken us down from 50 all the way down to now where we're entering the top 20 box sets and reissues for 2023. So let's kick off with number 20, and it's more soul, and this is Love is the Message, which is marvellous. There are 3 of these. This is volume 3. I haven't done videos for these yet on the channel, but I'm going to. They are put together with so much passion and love. The booklets are enormous, and dedicated to one album at a time with all the historical data, the full artwork. There's a 12-inch single involved, there's a poster. The first 2 are available at about 50 quid each. There are only 2,500 of them worldwide, I think. This one is still quite expensive. It's about £80, and I think that there's allegedly going to be about 15 in the series. I don't know whether that will happen or not, but I really enjoyed this, and especially MFSB. I love that those albums by that particular outfit is great. Love is the Message, and of course The Sound of Philadelphia, which I think they should have called Soul Train, is one of my favourite tracks. So that is at number 20, Love is the Message. Next is the Super Deluxe box set for Argos by Wishbone Ash by Madfish Records. I raved about this, and I got to interview Andy Powell for the podcast, which for nearly 2 hours. I think one of my best podcasts of 2023. It's got the Martin Turner remaster of the album, which is probably the definitive mix for me. I think it sounds absolutely incredible. Live from Memphis radio broadcast. There were 2 DVDs with some really great footage from 74 and 73. A great booklet. I would have liked it to have been a hardback book. And maybe been a single album. It could have been a slipcase instead of a lift-off lid. But it's fantastic, and it got to number 19 in my best box sets of 2023. That's Argos by Wishbone Ash. Next is Kirsty MacColl and See That Girl. And this got to where it is because this was an artist I liked but didn't have a lot by her at all, and the way this has been put together, 8 CDs rammed with music, especially other people's songs that she covered. I also loved the fact it came with a hardback book, and as I went through the year, I started to realise that the hardback book element of these box sets really started to make a difference to how I felt about them, especially when the price point a lot of these things is £80 to £125 plus. It just felt more substantial, it felt more luxurious, it felt like, again, people had thought fan first at the record labels. But it's marvellously put together, it's a great set, and I've absolutely loved playing it. So that's Kirsty MacColl, See That Girl, 8 CD set. Next is Rock, and this isn't a box set, it's not a single album reissue, but I felt this was the best place to put it. If I can pick them all up at the same time, I should do my best. Ugh. And I did a separate video on this, but this was the Scorpions reissue campaign on coloured vinyl, soft covers from BMG Records, and each one of these is amazing. There's a separate video where I'll go through every single one of them, and I compared them to the CDs that came out as well. I mean, the In Trance and Virgin Killer and Flight to the Rainbow sound just absolutely stunning. There are literally, I can't remember how many there are now, but I've done a separate video on them. But this reissue campaign from BMG for the Scorpions albums was remarkable, and I put that down at number 17. in my chart. Sorry, thank you for that. Next was a completely different kettle of fish, and it was Landscape from Cooking Vinyl. Little box set, nevertheless, but 6 CDs, with the band were involved, and I had no idea that jazz, punk, fusion, prog was a thing. But the first stuff on here, and the 12-inch singles, and From the Tea Rooms of Mars to the Hellholes of Uranus. What an album title is that? This has everything in it. It's got a great booklet. Cooking Vinyl, I call Cooking Vinyl, but they make some great CD sets, and you'll see another one coming in a moment. Great booklet, great music, and what I really loved was the early stuff. It's amazing, and quite a few people in the Facebook group went ahead and purchased this as well. And that's Landscape, a go-go, the story of the band from 1977 to 1983. Next, we turn up the guitars to 11 for Winger. I thought this was amazing. I thought the sound that Ted Jensen has done the remastering. Kip Winger was supervised the whole thing. He's fully behind this. It came with a great booklet. I love vinyl sets that come with booklets because obviously they're album size. The only disappointment was that the CD variant didn't come with a booklet, but that, as Kip said in one of the comments on my big unboxing video, said he had no idea that had happened. But to hear Paul on vinyl is superb, and these pressings are absolutely remarkable. As I said, Kip Winger's been involved, and that, as I say, is one of my favourite box sets of the year, which I brought in at number 15. Okay, where to next? Where to next is Barclay James Harvest. I had a choice of 2 here, with the Baby album being one of them, but it had to be this one once again. I remember getting this when it arrived and thinking, wow. And that's a key component of how some of these things have arrived where they are. As I unpack them, and I see so many of these things, and and I spend the money and think, what have I done? Is it going to be? Some of them arrive and you just think, oh wow. And this was one of them. These sets which give you the original stereo mix remastered, a new stereo mix. I love remixes, reimagined, a 5.1 mix, a Blu-ray disc, outtakes, a concert. I mean, they are superb, and the booklets are really substantial. You feel as if you're in a personal museum and retrospective on one of your favourite albums. Esoteric Records, bit like Madfish and Cooking Vinyl in many respects. They just think through the eyes of fans and think, what would the fan really want now? Do you think they'd want this? And someone goes, yeah, just let them have it. It's just absolutely brilliant. So that's once again Barclay James Harvest, which sits at number 14. The next one, Chris Wright, one of my collaborators and patrons, has put this as probably one of his best box sets ever, and it is Joni Mitchell, the Archive Volume 3. I don't have Volume 1 and 2 yet, but Chris tells me this one just sits at the top of literally sitting at the top of a mountain, really. It's the Asylum years 1972 to 1975, and it's a great design, great booklet, so well put together. But the music for the Roses, live at Carnegie Hall, early sessions, Court and Spark demos, and the benefit concert live at Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, the Hissing of Simmer Lawns demos. This is like if Joni Mitchell went to an open mic night and you stumbled across her and you were the only person in the audience and you were sitting in a chair literally 6 feet away from her. That's what they're like. They are that good. It is unbelievable in a way, and you just Rhino Records. This is how this has been put together. If you're a Joni fan, it's essential. Yes, it's about 60 quid. It's worth every penny. It's worth every penny. It literally is like having Joni in the room with you. It's like inviting her around for a cup of tea. It's just wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. Next is Hawkwind. second Hawkwind one in my top 50 list, and this one is Space Ritual. Amazing. I mean, this is, what was this, 11 discs, 10 CDs and a multi-region Blu-ray disc. Another one of those situations where you have a classic live album recorded over several nights and somebody goes away and decides, should we release every night we recorded? Did the band pick the best tracks? Did they vary the set? Did they vary the songs? Did they stretch out on some of them more than they did on other nights? You can find all of that out now. But the real gem here is the new stereo mix, and obviously then hearing it in 5.1. My God, I always thought Space Ritual sounded like there's a blanket on top of it. No matter how I upgraded my hi-fi, whenever I came to play it, I was a bit disappointed. I know die-hard Hawkwind fans will have got used to that, but you know, coming from the world where I did with things like Made in Japan, I had a kind of sound of what a live album from 1972-ish, 73-ish would sound like. But now it sounds immaculate. Yes, it's about £100. But I think, and somebody said, how many times do you want to hear the same album? It's not the same album. The great thing about this period in rock history is that musicians didn't necessarily play the same thing the same way ever again. And there are some absolutely storming versions of Hawkwind classics on this. Tons, obviously, unreleased concerts from that tour. It is brilliant. So that is at number 12. So number 11, which is where this video will stop until my final one in this series, is Ratt. Another wow factor box set, which weighs a ton, because this is how it should be done. Now, of course, BMG were behind the Dokken set, the Winger set, the Motley Crue set, but I don't know how Ratt had done globally on their sales. But this is the one. There's a full video that has been on Joni Mitchell and Hawkwind, but this came with an amazing booklet. It came with a single. It came with posters. It came with plectrums, all sorts of things. Great pressings, absolutely superb set. And quite rightly, I feel that Ratt should be proud of this. And I think everyone I know who's bought it and all the comments I got on the original video, everyone just loves it and they're so pleased it exists. There is a CD version. It didn't come with any of the bells and whistles, the booklets, the single, the posters, the booklet. Which is a shame. But this set is absolutely exceptional, and it does have the wow factor. It really, really does. So if you're a Ratt fan, if you've got all the albums already, have you really got them from the 80s? Maybe they sound a bit tired. This is a great way to pull them all together. So that is at number 11 in my top 50 box sets and reissues of 2023. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. So take care, keep spinning those discs. Please subscribe, ring that little bell, become a patron or YouTube member, see all my videos before they go out in general release, and lots of exclusive content as well. Take care, and I shall see you all very, very soon.